Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to At the Picnics, Season 2, Episode 23. Got our very special guest on this week. We've got David Noonan, the horse trainer, and you're probably all wondering where Danny is. Well, let me tell you, David, she's on a cruise heading to New Zealand and going to go around New Zealand. What do you reckon, mate? She's looking to maybe buy some new horses?
Yeah, well, I don't know how she'll go buying some new horses on the cruise, but I'm sure she'll have a good time. Great.
What do you reckon, mate? You don't reckon she can bring them on and say excess baggage?
Yeah,
Uh,
well, a few New Zealand breds probably be a smart thing to do.
Absolutely. So good on you, Danny. I hope you're having a good time. The last time I heard, they were nearly in New Zealand. So she's going to be cruising around there for about a week. So hopefully the weather's all right. Now, last weekend, David, we had Hinnamungi on Saturday. I'd never been there before. I headed up there. Interesting place. And I say that in a nice way. Middle of bloody nowhere. And I've come in, and there must have been 600-700 people there, mate. It was awesome. And a big congratulations to Reg Manning. Bonza Boots got up, bit of an outsider at 10-1. And Rowan Cox, who hadn't had his last ride since up in Queensland since 2014. So he's come out of retirement. His second ride, he gets up in the cup. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's great. Reg is fairly popular around our household. I'm sure he is with anyone else that's involved with the picnic racing. And Rowan's just getting back into it. He rides track work in Mornington. He's a partner of Sophie Clayfield.
Yep.
So she does a bit of riding for us, obviously, and track work and things. So yeah, it was a great result.
Fantastic. And anybody in the picnic industry that doesn't like Reggie will get out, because he's the nicest bloke going around. Everybody loves Reggie. And as I always say, he's the best looking bloke going around. He's the old fashioned guy, wears the collared shirt and the tie and the pants.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's old, but he's a quintessential Australian person that, if you're in trouble, you can rely on him. He'll be there to help you. There's no doubt about that. We've struck that ourselves already.
Yeah, spot on, right, mate. And that's his 29th Hinnamungi Cup as a jockey and a trainer. And it was just, we'll say the word beautiful, mate, because the race is named after his dad, Alec. And, he had 4 runners in it, and one of them got up and won. So there was a few teary eyes, mate, at that presentation.
Yeah, oh, well, that's good. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So.
Absolutely, mate. Then we went to Balnarring on Sunday. I unfortunately couldn't get there. Sean Cooper rode a treble. Dylan Dean rode a double, which basically, if you look at the Jockey Premiership now, Sean Cooper's on 27, Dylan Dean's on 20. So you would think we've only 4 or 5 meetings left. I think, David, you would say that Sean's probably got it wrapped up.
Yeah, you would say with that sort of lead, he's probably home.
He's probably home, unless you never know what can happen, mate. Dylan might come out and ride 5 winners this weekend. We've got Alexandra on Saturday and we've got Woolamai on Sunday. Look, you never know, but, I'm a betting man, mate, and if I was able to have a bet, I'd probably bet on Sean winning it. But if we have a look at the leading female jockey, Sophie, as we mentioned before, she's on 9. She's having a cracking season.
Yeah, she's doing really well. She's come a long way, and she's a lovely girl. She helps us a lot. It'd be a popular win, certainly around our neck of the woods.
Absolutely. We've had her on the show a few weeks ago, mate, and you're right. Lovely, lovely young lady. Now, we look at the trainers, mate. It's very, very interesting. We've got Don Dwyer on a 13. We've got Troy Kilgour on 12, but Troy's got more seconds. So if they happen to end up on the most wins at the end of the season, Troy will get it. Then equal third, we've got Rebecca Weymouth on 7, Peter Foster on 7, and then we've got some bloke called David Noonan on 6.
Yeah, well, we've got no hope.
No, mate. You haven't got a bad strike rate, mate. So everyone's going to be wondering, David Noonan, horse trader. So first question, and we always ask it to people on the show, how did you get involved with horse racing?
Well, I just started off just trail riding horses originally, and I was at school and I did work experience for a float hire company, Alan Saltmarsh in Mornington. And our first job was to pick up Rancher to go to the 2-year-old trials at Flemington.
Wow.
It's probably the most beautiful horse that I'd
Yeah,
seen to that date, and probably till now, still the same.
yeah,
And that obviously just caught my attention. And also at the time, around that time, Silver Bounty was going around for Gary
wow,
Carson
yep.
of the Caulfield Cup. Um, yeah, and just sort of fell into it that way, sort of non-intentional, but started doing some stable hand work for Gary Lee in Mornington after school. And I probably wasn't the best student going around. I was a regular at the Mornington races on a Wednesday, and at Cranbourne on a Tuesday or a Wednesday through the week, and Pakenham, Sandown. This is whilst I was meant to be at school. So, yeah, my school days weren't going to last too long, really. So fell into fell into it then from there.
Good on you, mate. I remember when I was a kid and I first started liking horse racing, and my dad said, "Well, no, horse racing's bad. It's full of bad people. It's gambling and all that." I remember Silver Bounty, and I remember, wow, there's actually great horses that run around, and that horse just blew my mind. Yeah, that was one of the ones that really got me going, and it's actually got me remembering too. There's remember a horse called Fox Seal, and Mick Hall Lacey trained it. For some reason, I just loved that horse. It was never anything really big, but it just kept winning in town. But when it got to group races, it wasn't much chop. So that's about the time I got involved. So, what school did you go to
Um, well,
when
my
you went?
last school effort was Dramana Tech,
Okay.
and one of the teachers there I trained for, even to this day, he's got shares in horses. He used to teach me typing of all things, which there was no computer.
Yep. Yep.
So he used to turn up to the races when I was there with my friend Andre, and get tips off us. He wasn't sort of telling us why we were at school. They were more interested in the few of the other teachers. We had any good tips for them. So,
Yep. Yep.
but right up till now, Paul Woods, he's, yeah, from the time I've started training, he's pretty much had a share in a horse all the way through. So,
Yep.
yeah, we're friends now, and it's
Fantastic.
sort of
But
it's been a good ride.
back in the days, mate, when there's no way you're 18 and you'd walk into the old TAB or the bookies and they didn't ask questions, mate. You put your 50-cent bet on each way, mate. They took it.
Yeah, well, I had to be in my school uniform and have a bet. They didn't care.
Oh, that's fantastic, mate. Things are different now, mate. Now, who? So I know you're training out of Cranbourne now. You were from Mornington. Who's the? Well, sorry. My first question is, how many have you got in your stables at the moment?
Of our own, I'm not sure. We've probably got 8 or
Okay.
10, maybe. That's for ourselves
Yep. Yep.
that we
Yep.
pre-train. You know, 30 to 40 other horses
Wow.
for trainers. So we're pretty busy.
Pretty busy. Um, and who's the best horse that you've ever trained or even pre-trained?
Oh, that's probably a hard question. My training horses are certainly not household names, so they're a long way short of probably Zaki. I'm Thunderstruck, Sir Dragon, a Lighthouse, Snap Dancer, and all. Yeah,
Yep.
minor affair sort of those sort of horses.
Yep. What about the best horse you've ever seen? We've all seen some superstars over the years, and we've all enjoyed just not even having a bet in a race, mate. Just watching. Who's the best you've seen?
Yeah, you probably have to go with Black Caviar.
Yep.
Really, like, she was unbeaten today. I suppose I've never thought of it that in that sense, but you'd have to go with her.
Yep. Certainly one of the best, mate. Now Jackie's your lovely partner, and I might get her in trouble here, but she said to me she does a lot of the work, and she tends to go to the races more than you. How big a help is she?
Well, we do everything together. Obviously, the picnics, Jackie's, that's her passion.
Yep.
That's something her and Hope, my daughter, or our
Yep.
daughter, they do together, and they're always at the races and keen to go and
Yep.
be involved and get more horses. And I'm sort of like, oh, you got another bloody horse. What are you going to do with this one? I'm going to run it. What do you think I'm going to do with it?
Oh,
Where's it going? I'll get it ready for a race. Don't you worry about it. It'll be some of those conversations go on on a weekly basis. Put it that way.
Oh, that's fantastic, mate. No, she's a good help. Lovely lady as well. She actually, we discussed before the show started that she dobbed you in on the show. I approached her. She said, "No, no, that's David's job. We've got to get David on." So we do appreciate you coming on, mate. Now, one question which is totally off the cuff and nothing to do with horse racing, and I always ask this question of people on the show: who do you barrack for on the footy?
Well, I'm tipping that there's a lot of Richmond supporters watching this because they won't be watching the footy because I'm Carlton.
Well, I'm a mad tiger, mate, and be there you go, mate. And being an away game tonight, I tend not to go to the away games. It's just too hard when you're a Richmond member, mate. You got your own reserve seat, mate. So no, I think Carlton's going to have a good season, mate, and I think you're going to flog us tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's been a long time. Well, my sons have barracked for Carlton all the way through, and they've seen no joy in their whole life.
Yep.
And I was young. They were in the grand finals every second year and
Yep.
never went.
Yep.
It was just that just turned up. They just turned up. So
Yep.
So that they're going to get it a real enjoyment with hopefully Carlton going for a good ride, and hope she's
Absolutely.
right into it. She's into the picnic race, jumps racing, and Carlton. That's about it.
There's no influence from Dad.
No. Yeah, they don't take after me. Like Nick was at school one day. Well, he didn't know. I didn't know he was at school this particular day. He sent me a text. This is a long time ago. He's about 14. He said, "I just got the Quinella at Flemington." He said it paid $90. I said, "Where are you?" He said, "At school."
That's what I love. That's what I love, mate.
Get him off, sit him up the front with his mate because they were betting on the, while school was on there. They're meant to be doing their work here and there on looking at sports betting. So they had no hope.
Well, I went to Moorabbin Tech, mate, and there was a teacher there that actually ran a book. And he was happy to take money off the students, and he'd have his form English teacher and have his form guide out, and during class, just random kids would come in from other classes and go, "Oh, hi, sir, can I have $2 each way on number 4 in the second?" Yeah, no worries. Mate, they were the days. It was all good fun, mate.
Still going on. They just sit on the bloody, I suppose not many kids, but yeah, they did, and they say they're involved in racing, so that's the boys. So.
Yep, that's it, mate. So we'll go back on your thoughts on picnic racing, and you've got a couple of decent ones that have gone around this season. One of them being Shahin. Do you sort of put them in as maybe a prequel to maybe them improving their racing and going to professional racing, or are you sort of more than happy just to keep running them in the picnics?
I'm probably always keen to get them to the professionals. Yeah, because I say, Jackie, they'll win a bit more money if even if they run second or third. She goes, no, that's what I bought them for. They're going to the picnics. Yep. She's just they're when she buys them for the picnics, they're going to the picnics.
Yep.
Regardless of whether they win at the professionals at the moment, she's back in the picnic circuit 100%.
Yep, and being an owner of picnic horses myself, I'm always nudging my trainer or trainers. Oh, when are they going to the pros? No, they're just picnic horses. You always hope, mate. You always hope. Even if I got a place at the pros, mate, I'd be happy.
Yeah, well, there's obviously quite a lot of horses. Through the summer period, it can cross between the twos.
Yep.
There's no doubt, and plenty of horses can do that.
Yep. And also on the picnic circuit, and we've discussed it a bit lately, that New South Wales again have just put up their prize money for the picnics. It was 7, but some of them are going up to 8, 9, even $10,000. So, sometimes it might even worth putting a couple in the truck, mate, and heading up there.
Well, I don't think Jackie would be keen on that because she'd probably have to camp a tent or something like that, didn't she? I don't think that. I'd be the one driving, so we may not be doing that, but still, that's obviously something that RVL got to pull their finger out and increase the prize money a little bit, just to make it a bit more sustainable.
Yep.
I had an idea whereby I just sent an email through actually on that sort of front a few weeks ago because went to this seminar thing on work and also the welfare thing that they're doing and off the track programs and all that. And I got to thinking they should be having like a Super Vobis type of thing for the picnic horses. So, for Victorian bred horses to race at the picnics
Yep.
and give them an incentive, because a lot of the horses that come through the picnic circuits are, they're not horses that some of the professional trainers want or owners.
Yep.
And they've got to have a second life. So,
Yep.
I think on the welfare front, these horses can continue on, in racing capacity and for quite a few years. And we regularly buy, we've done it ourselves, we're buying horses from like Gundawindi, we've bought horses from Scone, I've seen horses race recently from Hobart and South Australia and all that, and eventually they end up a welfare problem in Victoria,
Yes.
not a problem, on the Victorian race in Victoria, they've got to find the off-the-track people to retrain them or whatever. But I just sort of thought maybe there's a way of enticing the people on the picnic circuit to look at Victorian horses to race on the Victorian circuit and give them an incentive, through something like Super Vobis, similar to the off-the-track program.
Yeah.
And then, the Victorian horses, once they finish their racing days and they might go on to an off-the-track program, but it's fully Victorian sort of way, instead of bringing horses in from other states. Well, fair enough, they've got their own programs, but there's quite a lot of picnic horses that are actually coming in from interstate, and then they up a Victorian sort of potentially a Victorian problem down the track with their welfare side of it. And just, I sort of put to them that maybe we should just sort of start looking after our own in a way, and get the breeders on board. Certainly there's a lot of picnic horses that can race for a few seasons and probably stay in the family or an owner's family or the bloke down the road, or they still continue on in some capacity after racing with people that they already know. So I put that to them, and I haven't heard anything back, but they thought it was a pretty good idea, because I think times have changed. The way we're going to do things, there's no doubt about that. And it might be just a way that, if there was an extra 1,000 or 2,000 on a maiden, or even say like a country cup, like a Balnarring Cup or whatever, there's a $3,000 bonus for a Victorian Phobos horse if you win the Balnarring Cup. So it would help people sort of invest back in to a Victorian horse, I believe, and create a little bit more money for that's upkeep and all the rest of it. Obviously we don't all do it for the money. We do it for the love of the game and just the camaraderie of going every weekend and that sort of thing. That would never change, but a little bit extra money wouldn't hurt. So that's for sure.
Couldn't agree with you more, David. And my thoughts are that you look at picnic racing and you look at the crowds, like they're always fantastic, especially cup days. And you look at, like a normal meeting in the city when there's no group races or listed races, there's more people at the picnics than there are in the city. So there's a scope there to really work on. And my other idea is, why do we only have to have 6 races at the picnics? Quite often the nominations are quite large. Why can't we look at 7 or even 8 races? Do you know if there's a reason behind that?
I don't know. I would say it's just a funding thing, I would say. In most cases, there's only they've allocated a certain amount of money towards the picnic circuit, and that's how it is. So, but the things like that need to be adjusted for some of the reasons I just talked about. So, maybe they could pay a few less people in the offices at Flemington, working out crowds back when the picnics get 5,000 people and they can't work out how 5,000 Flemington.
That's what I mean.
Like
it's
not rocket science,
No. And
so they just take a little bit out of what happens at the picnics and take it somewhere else. It'll work.
It'll work. And
you do the picnic. People can bring their food and their drinking if they want to, or a certain section. They had like a certain section, like a picnic type of event on the lawns at Flemington where people could do that. It'd be chock-a-block full of people.
Yep, totally agree. And the other thing, and a lot of people ask, and again, this is not being harsh on Racing Victoria. It's just a question, and a lot of people have asked it. And again, at the start of this year, we had a couple of meetings that were abandoned, so that prize money was not distributed. So when and remember last year we had with all the floods, we had quite a few. And that was prize money again that was not distributed, that was allocated. So what's happened to that prize money? Why couldn't they maybe make the prize
Well,
money a little bit more
yeah,
this year?
the same with every other race meeting that gets abandoned. And it's a bit like the welfare. Well, fair enough, we've got this welfare fund and the jockey thing, but why is that coming out of each person's prize money? Really, like
Yep.
that should just general revenue, and that shouldn't be part of the prize money.
No.
That should be out, and there should be the same amount of money. It's their money. Like they start with it.
Yep.
Why? Why to deduct it out of everyone's prize money?
Yep.
They're just it's the only reason for it is to make the prize money look better. Oh yeah, we've got 55 whatever the amount of millions it is that goes in prize money, but it's actually all that minus 4 or 6% goes elsewhere. So that's just the way they do things to make them pat themselves on the back, really. So
Yep. Yep. And it
keep up
used
with New South Wales.
keep up with New South Wales. Yep. And it used to be, and there has been a couple of times when there've been tab meetings. So I've had a suggestion as well that maybe one meeting a year or something, Healesville Cup or Balnarring Cup or something like that, have it as a tab meeting. And then that would create a lot of interest as well with people that don't know much about the picnics. I mean, I know we had the Corinthian at the end of the season, but a meeting during the season would just be sensational.
There'd be no doubt punters will punt on because they'll
Yeah,
punt on anything.
they'll punt on anything.
So, you know, um, with the way broadcasting and that is these days, there's no reason why you couldn't do that. And it's always be self-sustainable. The picnic circuit, part of the reason why they probably won't do it is maybe they might get more people punting on that than they would at the country meeting at Werribee or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
Which is
point. Yeah.
they've got smaller fields and more likely a favourite's going to win, and
Yep.
yeah, punters will be drawn to that now. So
Yeah. True.
because I know my sister and brother-in-law, they were part of a club in the Western District. I won't say which club, and they race once a year. And but they did very well with the off-course punting. And it was a club that never used to really sort of do that. It was just sort of like a picnic meeting. And I know that they just did extremely well. Like RBL was surprised that people how they punted on that meeting, and so there's no doubt it would work at particular
Yep.
meetings at Wollongong or Hillsville or
Yep.
Balnarring or any. It wouldn't matter where it was.
Yep.
To be honest, matter.
But,
It
but
would
if
work.
But all the meetings pretty much have got the facilities to be a tab meeting. I mean, all the callers at the picnic meetings are fantastic and do a wonderful job. So you've got a bigger range of people listening in and watching it. There's no issues at all there. Well, that's my opinion.
Yeah, and they've got the stewards sort of adjudicate over it the same way, and
Yeah,
the rules are all the same as a normal race meeting.
yeah,
So there's no reason, like you can have a bet at Gundawindi or out the back of Burke or Birdsville. Like, why can't we bet at Hidamungi or whatever? Why not?
yep, yep. No, couldn't agree with you more, David. And again, we've got Adam coming in as the new boss of the picnics, and Gary Buckley's done a wonderful job. But Adam, being a younger person, might have some ideas that can really keep picnic racing going.
Yeah, well, they've just got to be listened to. It's not a matter. You've got to have. It's good to have the ideas, and you've got to go forward with them. But if they're not going to listen, you've got no way, have you? So
Yeah.
that's about where it is, isn't it? So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I hope you get the right people that have got like-minded and prepared to give it a go.
Yep.
So, and then you're away.
Yep. Totally agree. Now, we've only got a few minutes left, mate. So normally this is the time of the show where Danny will shoot you some quick questions. So I'll do it, mate. This is where we have a bit of fun, mate. Pub meal or home meal?
I'd go a pub meal because there's home meals can be, a fortnightly event.
Oh, just got to be careful. Jackie's probably she's there, isn't she? Yeah. Hello, Jackie. And if you go to the pub meal, mate, what would you normally go? A Palmer?
Oh, I probably would have back in the day. I don't mind a steak, but at the moment, today I went to the pub.
Yeah. Which
Funnily
one?
enough. took all the
Which
staff down.
which pub
Kirk's
did you
at
go to?
Boynton.
Oh, yep.
Kirk's at Boynton.
Yeah,
He took
yeah,
all
they
the staff
yep.
lunch, and I had salt and pepper calamari. There
Oh,
you go.
nice.
So,
Yep. And a couple of pots as well.
yeah, I had a few beers.
Love
That
it.
was it. But it's a bit hard when you're driving.
Yeah,
It's not like
that very true. Um, what's the other things you would normally ask? Oh, beer or spirits?
Oh, definitely beer, but back in the days, after about 16, I'd go to a bourbon and coke.
Is there a drink that you'll never touch again, mate? There's always one that we had a absolutely shocking experience on and made us crook. Is there one you won't go to?
The only thing that makes me crook is red wine, so it's
Yeah.
barred. It's
Yes.
gone.
Yeah, yep, I'm with you, mate. But if you want to drink a red wine, I did this once and it wasn't too bad. Chill it, stick it in the fridge, have it
It
cold. It's
won't
not
be,
that bad.
won't be happening.
See, I like a port. Do you drink port?
Yeah, no, actually, through the winter, I'll have a port.
I'll have a port.
Yeah, yep.
You
Bloody
realise that's actually fermented red wine.
yeah, wow.
I know,
It's
it's
only
weird, isn't it?
small
Yep.
glass, but you only usually have one or two.
Yeah.
I,
Mine
I
is
end up red wine like it's beer. That's not a good
that's
outcome.
it, mate. No, mine is I pretty well won't go near Southern Comfort or Bundy rum anymore, mate. Had a couple of
Bundy,
yeah,
don't know how that
no,
don't
a
know.
lot of people like it, mate. Favorite holiday destination, and I was a horse trainer, and you don't get away, mate. But where have you been, and where did you like, and where would you love to go?
Well, I used to tell my boss that through COVID, he took his missus overseas every year. I said, you're just going to have to go to Phillip Island. So that was his overseas trip. So I don't
Uh,
know. Broome was pretty good. We went to Broome. I enjoy Broome.
Room's
We go
lovely.
to golf regularly
Yep,
for the Wendling sales, but Broome was the place that we went to for the Cup
yep,
and on the Australian Racing Tour. So we did that, and that was bloody great. Yeah, that
yeah.
was yeah,
It's
real
lovely, isn't
eye.
it? Cable
Yep.
Beach is beautiful, mate. Did you jump on a camel?
A few of them don't have to worry about that one.
I was
Right
waiting
one.
for that one. Yeah, I've backed a few too, mate. Yeah, no, the camel racing is actually sorry, not racing, riding around Cable Beach is lovely, mate. And while you're up there, there's a beer in Western Australia which is an absolute ripper. You can get it here if you're lucky. Dan's will order it in. It's called Emu Bitter or Emu Lager. Have you heard of it?
Nah, I haven't actually.
Oh,
No,
it's a
nah.
it's a great drop, and I don't know why they don't sell it Australia wide. So when next time you're there, mate, grab one. You'll love it. Um, what else was I going to ask? If you got to train any current horse at the moment, this trainer said I'm full, you could have it. Which horse would you love to train?
Well, all right. I've got no idea. I suppose
Any Group One horse.
going right, isn't it? But
Yep,
it should be all right.
yep, yep.
She might be half buggered now. She might be on the tail end of her career. But yeah,
Uh,
Imperial Free, say that.
all right. What about if you won a $20 million Tats Lotto draw, mate, and you were going to go to the yearlings? What sort of breeding would you look at?
I don't know if we'd buy the yearlings. I wouldn't mind it trying to outbid some of the big guns on something pretty flash. That'd be all right. But the big trainers get a bit of a kick out of that, but they're using someone else's money. But when you start using your own, you might be a bit sort of weary of it.
Yeah,
So,
no, fair enough.
um,
What was the last film you saw?
I've got no idea, to be honest. I did tell this backpacker Sheila today to watch The Man from Snowy River. So
That's quite often an answer on this show, mate.
something Australian. So you've got to go on one of those high country, car rides, which I want to do. I said,
Yeah.
but you got to watch the film first before you go. You're
Yeah.
going to have to watch the.
I think Tom Burlington's done very well on this show, mate, with that with that answer from people. What are you a Netflix sort of person? Is there any documentaries or anything that you like to watch?
The documentaries on racing.com will probably get a bit of a run because racing.com's fairly
Always on in the background. Yeah.
7 years and racing.com, and yeah, we probably don't watch a lot of TV these days. To
Yeah,
be honest, we're
no,
too busy.
you're too busy. Yep. Um, who do you think currently is the best race caller and why?
Well, I'd have to go with my son Travis.
Yeah.
Just go with the blood.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. What does he think when you say he's a pretty good caller?
Well, he's obviously pretty happy if I think he's good, but I'm probably his biggest critic. He's still making his way in calling, so I would just listen to everything, and so I'm his critic, which
Biggest
he
critic.
takes all that on board because someone's got to say everyone can give you a pat on the back. There's no
Yes.
worries about that, but
Yes.
sometimes you need to hear a little bit of the other to improve. It's a tough gig. You can lose your way very quickly. So there's certain things you've got to train yourself to do to keep the ball rolling and keeps punching out those names. So there are things to work on. So
I just remembered. Now I know where I originally met you, David. Travis used to work with me on Casey Radio at Balnarring.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Travis.
know. Yep, that's where I first met you. Yep. And I remember one time we lost the audio to Ben Spurl at Balnarring, and he said, "It's all right, I'll call the race," and he did a fantastic job.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's got an unbelievable memory, which I think that
Yes.
helps him a lot. Like you can give him a horse's name, and he'll just tell you its form, and just did this. That doesn't matter where it raced, he'll just tell you. Nick's a lot the same as well, but unbelievable horses, and he's always had the flair for calling. Like even from the time he was about 5 or 6 year old in the backseat of the car.
Yep.
He'd call on Sunline and Norvely and all these. And I said, mate, the races only go for a minute and a half, not for 3 hours. I said, I give you a watch. You're going to time yourself now. It's a minute and a half. You're going to fit it all in there in a minute and a half and not listen to that crap all the way to bloody stall.
That's it, mate. I called a race once. It was a 2-horse race, but I called it. I think I did all right.
It's a tough gig. Turn the volume down, have a crack at it. And it's,
absolutely.
Once you lose one horse, one name, you're gone.
That's
Gonski,
it.
So.
You're right, mate. There's such a limited time, and I do a bit of footy commentary, mate, and I still, you still somehow get a blank from a player every now and again. You have to quickly look down.
Yep. No doubt.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure, and really appreciated your insight on picnic racing and your ideas, which are great. The last question is: you've got a few in this weekend. Who for anyone watching who might want to have a little bit of a tickle and obviously don't bet big. Who's your best thing for the weekend?
Well, we've got filly running at Alexandra, which we've just got to win a race with Monolink.
Yep.
So we'll probably with her.
Yep.
Ben Moffat board, so he knows her quite well. She's an ex-price horse. The plan is just to get her in and get her to win a maiden. She cost $1 million, so I don't know if it's too many $1 million sort of horse run at the bloody picnics. But
there you go, everyone. You're 3-1. It's now $1.70. What about Shahin? I'm a real fan of Shahin. How's that going to go on the weekend?
I don't think. Yeah, he's not running.
Oh, not running. Oh, geez, I swear I saw it in the fields. Okay, silly me.
I think Jack's running. I think that's the one that's going around.
Okay.
So he hasn't won at the picnics yet, so he's overdue. So he's definitely overdue.
Okay.
And he's going a matter of time before he can, puts his head in front.
No worries. And when's Shahin running next?
Well, we're probably up in the air at the moment as to where he'll run. So I think we're probably getting to the end of the tether with him. He's done a lot of racing. He's raced quite well, and support meetings with him, and he's So we're treading carefully at the minute. Put it that way.
Got the golden thong next weekend over 23.50 if you can run it out.
He won't be in that, but certainly Whiskey Jack probably
will be in that.
Yep, he'll run in that.
I think my boy's got to be in that, all too greedy. The longer the better for him. So he won that 2 years ago. So I know that Don set him up for that. So And I've got Strong Lady in on Sunday at Woolamai, but geez, it's a tough field, that one, the 2000 Open. So, but hopefully she goes all right. All right. Thank you so much, David, and thank you, Jackie, in the background.
No worries.
All right. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys around.
Go the Blues. Go
I'll
the
probably
Blues.
see you on the weekend. Jackie, thank you
Yep.
so much. Really appreciate you coming on. And everybody, of course, thank you to Picnic Bet, who look after the show every week. Thank you to Fran, who puts it on the Picnic Facebook page. And we'll see everybody later. And I hope Danny's having a good holiday. See you later, David. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
No
See ya.
worries. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.